57287 Scooter, South Carolina. What's going on?
Hi, David. I called about the European Union trade deal. What I really want to speak about is the pedophile in the White House. Why are you not talking about it? Why are you covering up and running cover for that piece of garbage, Trump?
Okay, so tell
You
me
support
the conviction.
pedophilia?
Tell me the conviction.
You
No, you have to
There is
state
no
the
conviction.
So there's no conviction.
Just the way he's acting. Isn't it incriminating enough?
Scooter, stop talking and listen for a second. I'm going to give you a chance to answer reasonable questions. Tell me the conviction and the date of conviction, and tell me the actual charge that led to that conviction.
You know as well as I do, his name is all over that file, and he's doing everything he can to make it go away.
No, that's a great point. So let me ask you another common sense question. Is everybody's name who in some way were in that file, and I'm going to give you a specific example to help you think this through. Epstein did his business. Let me finish.
The answer is no.
You don't know the question, so you don't know the answer.
I do know what
Epstein
you're going to ask.
did his business through Barclays Bank. A lot of times, because Trump did business through Barclays Bank, and so did others, when it came time for someone at that, quote, level, no matter who it is, birthday cards, letters, things were signed. Some of those were signed by people like, I don't know, Bill Clinton. Is Bill Clinton a pedophile?
Possibly. I don't know. Let's find out. Why do you keep running?
Thank you
for
your answer. Shut up. Thank you for your answer. Because you determine an outcome on Trump. You say possible with Clinton. What you are is a fake. You're not even a good troll. I mean, you're good for my uses. I can point out how, dumb you are. And by the way, don't insult the name Scooter. I had a friend in Dallas named Scooter, nickname Scooter. Was a great name, if that's your real name, because you trolls tend to not be able to use your real names. But if that's your name, it's an insult to Scooter. He was a much better person than you. All right. That was fun. Mary in New York. Hi, Mary.
Hello, welcome to a new day.
I love trolls. Somebody was on Twitter.
Scooter doesn't sound too bright. Okay.
I know, but I love them, Barry. I love them when they call and they go. And somebody was on X saying, how come you let them on and hold? That was the guy earlier, Brian. I'm like, because I love them. It points out how stupid they are. I love this.
Greatest show on earth. If I may, my interests are in.
Thank you for the call. From Scooter to Scott, North Carolina. Go ahead. You want to weigh in on Scooter?
Well, yeah, David. It's all over socials right now. It seems like all I see is pedo this and pedo that. Why are you defending this pedo? It's as if they're all regurgitating the talking points they were provided about a week to 10 days ago. And it keeps coming back to the same thing. If he was all over the list, why wasn't that dropped on the American public in October of 24 or September of 24 when the Democrats had control of the list and could have absolutely destroyed his candidacy with one simple release of documentation? It boggles the mind, and I'm seriously wondering about talking point bingo. What's going to be their next talking point when they can't get any traction on this entire pedo conversation? What are they going to throw at the wall next to see what they can get to stick?
Anything they can. Just look. I use simple logic with Scooter, right? But I also had a plausible question, or not a question that had two plausible answers, and he could draw determination with one and ignore determination with the other. That's the problem with the left. Both names are on the quote list. I'm going to use the term list, right? The Barclays example was actually the connection between the two, in that Trump did a lot of business through Barclays, the Trump organization, Epstein through Barclays, all other things about whether he had the financial credibility or licenses and whatever else aside. So they did these things in corporations, which corporations do every day for all kinds of people. Here's the birthday card. You're our big investor. Sign it to Mr. whatever, managing director or whatever the titles happen to be. But if you can't draw honest answers out of something like that, your intent was never to do it. It goes back to your point. They're going to throw this, pedo this. Also, they need to counter the facts coming out with the DNI's release, with Tulsi Gabbard's release. John Ratcliffe did a really good interview yesterday with Maria Bartiromo, followed by Devin Nunes. And we're starting to see the unraveling, which brings us back to your point of, if they had this info, how is it they hid all this info? Obama asked for a change in the assessment. And then if they had Trump, you'd think if the Democrats really had Trump by the cojones going into the election, they wouldn't have used this? Come on,
they
Scooter.
absolutely would have. Absolutely would have. Scooter and anybody else that is currently screaming pedo, pedo, pedo. And I'm just wondering, on my bingo card, what's the next tactic? What's the next thing they're going to come up with when this fails to gain any traction, just like everything else that they've done for the last 6 months and 6 days?
Yeah, that's a good question to just kind of throw out there. Anybody got any good ideas on? They can be good or bad ideas on what's on their bingo card. Maybe we can have bingo card. I don't know. We'll come up with some not so clever name. Yeah. What did you say, Matt? Come on, let me hear it. You said it out loud. Let me hear it. What is it? All right. Let's see.
ICE is the new SS. That's
oh, okay. Yeah. I thought they tried that one already. Didn't they try that one?
Damn.
Oh yeah, they can't get their Nazis or fascists straight. They're fighting fascism because Trump is Hitler. Okay,
you're asking for logic from people who can't define what a woman is.
Oh man! And by the way, here's Yitzhak on X. It just popped up on my screen. If Trump was all over the list, Hillary would have used it in 2016. Oh yeah. You know what though? While we're talking about this and chuckling, sadly, I've said it before. It still pisses me off. What they did to my friend Carter Page, a Naval Academy grad, someone who served this country well, someone who I trust, someone who I get pissed. All right, Scott, a better dealing with Scooter, who, by the way, is an insult to my old buddy Scooter, one of my great running buddies back in the Dallas days. Good man, good Texan. A real name, real Scooter. All right, Scott, appreciate the call. Yeah, what's on the bingo card next? I'll leave it up to you. I'll leave it up to you all out there. Quick break when we come. All right, Colette, do you want to respond to Scooter? I don't know where does that come from? Somebody figure that out for me.
Scooter is an idiot and doesn't know anything about the girls that have to deal with a pedophile. All you have to do is look back at the RNC speech that his granddaughter made. The fact that she goes golfing alone willingly with Trump explains the fact that Trump is not a pedophile. Because as an incest survivor myself, I wouldn't have spent any time alone with my dad or grandfather. Not willingly. And she came up there and spoke about how great Trump is. That would never have happened if he was a pedophile.
And you know what? I have been around the family for some time now. And you don't know everything. That's the right, fair way to say it. But I've seen a good man, a grandfather, a father. I know his kids. There's just something, I'm not saying, again, that you can see everything in a family, but I don't see a thing in this family short of a hardworking, good family. You can disagree with them. You can disagree with policy. You can do all of that. You can also be fair and say, they've done their job as best they can. And the kids are often they're often the result of better parenting.
Well, a woman that is under the influence of a pedophile is not a happy woman. She's not a woman that as good as Ivana is. And his granddaughter would have never wanted to speak up for him because pedophiles make the women pretty much a slave, and they don't do anything on their own.
Yeah.
So,
and by the way, here's another indicator to me personally of somebody's character. Don't ever go, you've heard me say this probably before, Mary, don't ever go after any one of Trump's kids. It's like unleashing a freaking nightmare on yourself.
It's just, look at Ivana all by herself, how professional she is, how put together she is. An incest survivor isn't like that. You have to go through a lot of counseling to get yourself there. So it's just, for him to even say that was an insult to all the women of the Trump family.
I don't think that kind of person, whoever Scooter is today, thinks in those terms. They're just out to sound good in their own head. And to you, Colette, thank you for being brave and speaking out about this.
Well, I'm trying to do more than that. I'm trying to put together a book to help other women. So,
all right, excellent. And when you do, you let me know. You absolutely let me know.
Thank you.
All right, Colette, appreciate the call. Thank you. Tyler, Michigan. Thank you. Tyler, Michigan, 866-95-PATRIOT. Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, I just wanted to call. First time listening to your station for the last week or so. I really appreciate everything I hear on here. I do love the stories that I hear from people. I did want to bounce off of what Scooter was saying. Scooter is definitely lacking some hardcore information there. He is obviously not digging deep enough into the books, or at least into the reading material that he needs to. And then, like I believe it was Claudette had just said,
Colette, yeah.
You know, being a person, for instance, like her in her situation, I do feel very sorry for her being in that type of situation. But to see that she is bouncing back from it in a more positive way, and she's actually trying to do something about it, just means, you know, she is a stronger person for that. And then, you know, for me in my story or my situation, I had family members I've grown up with that, you know, I told I love you every day type stuff. And to hear at, 30 years old that this person used to do these certain things, it really disturbs you to a certain degree. You know what I mean? To sit here and watch over the years, I listen to all types of music. So I've heard plenty of people say that they want to be like Trump. Everybody used to put Trump in their music, saying that they wanted to be the next rich person like Trump this, Trump that. And then as soon as the man starts running for the Republican Party, all of a sudden now he's this, now he's that, now he's this, now he's that. They go and try to file this against him, lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. But the problem that I've seen, or at least I have been seeing, is none of them, no matter what, have come out on top with a win. So to me, it's like they're just itching and picking at a bear to see if they can get some type of rise or reaction out of it. And when they do, that's going to be their next, per se, slot on your bingo card. It seems like they're trying to poke at the bear until he finally just gives up and snaps back.
You know, one of the things that, and I haven't thought of this in a while, Tyler, it's a conversation that goes back to the first time around. And it goes to your points about, the rap videos, and he was in Home Alone, right? He's a figure, right? Bigger than life, reality
Absolutely.
TV, all of that and more. Trump did the one thing that many others, including friends of mine like Tammy Bruce, who came from the left, right? You look at her, the people that know what they're about and then go out and help expose it are the worst for them, because they know that he knows you. The Clintons, the Al Sharptons, Trump knows them for what they are. And the biggest threat to someone is someone who really knows them.
No, absolutely. Absolutely agreed. And that's the scariest thing about him with the left is because he was friends with so many of them and he knows so many of their deep, dark stories and past.
Yeah, absolutely true. And it's just like this. And I want to play this Gabbard audio one more time, Matt. Tyler, thanks for the call. It's another reason why they didn't want him to have that second term. Because that would put him in the position of putting a team in place and starting to unravel what they did to this country by targeting Donald Trump.
We have found the evidence